What kind of videos do I do? What if I was running for the Prime Minister of Canada? What if I was running to be the President of the United States? How would I refer to the people and the laws? How would I have to untie this. So how would I refer to the people and the laws? Now, sometimes you have to see how awkward someone is before you can believe the words they speak. If there was a colored guy next to me, what color would he be? Green, red, orange? That's the thing. They consider me white. And I've said this in many videos. But I feel very uncomfortable next to all the minorities. The thing is, I'm one of the greatest minorities on this planet. Not only am I white, but I'm Jewish. How many actual white Jews are there? Now, at what point did I become Jewish if I'm so white? Was I changed because of intermarriages before I became the Jewish person that I am? Am I Muslim? Am I Catholic? Am I Protestant? Am I Mormon? Am I a Mennonite? Anybody that's with Jesus in any part in any way is one religion, and anybody that's not part of him is another religion. Now we have a split because those who believe in no religion are actually not nor closer to the Jews, but they're not nor closer to the and again, they would be another minority. Now, are there more people who believe in no God that are Jews? Because the Jews believe in the Hebrew God, and the Catholics believe in a connection to Christ, to whatever other God there is out there. But if we would go with universal law, the question is, what is universal law? I know I do numerology, but I do a new wave of numerology. The basics of understanding that if all words came from numbers, then that's the numerology that I do. But if all words came from numbers, we need a basis of the reality of the better understanding of the universal judgment in law. Do you think it's right to inflict wounds upon another human being? And the answer is no. At what point can you inflict danger upon another human being? You see, at what point can you endanger another human being? The thing is, I think there's more people going to jail for selling not drugs, but for avoiding taxes on the drugs they've sold through laundering of their money. Going to jail for just money relationships. So does a moose go to jail because a bear shit in the woods? So if I was running for the Prime Minister of Canada, what do I need to tell the people? The truth or a lie? Will the stock markets be the same? Will their money be the same? There will be a huge amount of change. First, we have to understand global warming. We have to understand chemtrails, the reality. We have to understand fluoride in our water. We have to understand what germs are, what vaccines mean. Should there be Sharia law? Is a woman less than a man? And if she's less, what is she less of? Because men are less than women. Because we can't have babies, so they're more than men. Most women are not as strong as men, but most men are not as mentally prepared to have childbearing as a woman is. So if I was to become the Prime Minister of Canada, or of any province, of the President of the United States, I wouldn't want to be below anybody. I need to be above everybody because I believe that my beliefs cannot be maneuvered by anybody because of my ability to understand just about everybody, or not everybody and anybody, but everybody and somebody's, but not exactly the way they understand it. And I need to change their understanding so that I can get a better understanding, so that they can get a better understanding for the reality of a better judgment of a universal law. Money can never be first. The first thing is always operations, the manipulation of an operation to get people to want to work for what we need. The obligations and the understanding for what survival actually means and means to everybody for a universal law. If we did not have any science, we would not have any cars, we would not have any computers, we would not have any cell towers, we will not have any complaints of cell towers. If we didn't understand what immunity was, or the immune system, by taking a vaccine and lowering the immune system to gain, we need to gain access into the immune system. Now, if universal law says man was perfect, as things melt inside icebergs and new germs come up, we must prepare for these new germs. Or should we not? Should we just let these new germs come up and then all of a sudden, boom, a rash amount of people die because of something we may have been able to protect ourselves from? Or do we go deep into the Arctic to pull out these germs, infect people, have some people die to save the rest of the people? I also need to do the Georgia Guidestones, the guide of the universe, the guide to the galaxy of the universe. I one day have my own reality of what there are many out here. I believe that there's a lot of things wrong, but I also need to go back into color and race. Okay, in color and race, I see the Indian connected to the Eskimo. I see the Eskimo connected to the Asian operation. I see Asia, people that don't have the slanted eyes, because apparently is Israel in Asia, not in Africa. So, but I believe anybody with slanted eyes, Indians, and I believe that all black people, when talking black, talking brown, light brown. In fact, I saw a movie called Fences yesterday, where a colored folk, black person, Negro meaning black as a word, okay, in Spanish. So it's not a bad word. It's a Negro. It's a black. It's the word what's in Spanish. Why are we always getting mad? Why are we made to feel uncomfortable next to somebody else? I want to sit in front of somebody else that I'm uncomfortable next to, and I'm uncomfortable next to everybody. I am inferior and superior next to everybody or anybody. I think I'm smarter and I think I'm less smart at the same time. But irregardless, we are all people and we're all equals. We need, okay, we need food and we need shelter. None of us should be scared. And what happens when we steal? What happens when we don't pay taxes? Now, everybody's talking that taxes are illegal. They shouldn't even be legal. But we need to tax a certain amount for a certain reality or a certain reason for a certain way that we need to run life. We need to tax people, to those who cannot work or the elderly who do not have money. They spent their money somewhere. So we have to understand how we need to move around money around this globe so that all the old people who cannot work have food in their mouth. We also have to understand that the old people who can't understand how to regulate their own lives, that are helped by people that we can trust, that will treat them like human beings. No one should be treated less than a human being than another. And some people have mental disabilities. They can't cope. They scream, they yell, they do all kinds of bad things. How do we lock these people up, yet still give them the honor of life just because they've done something wrong mentally, because they're not thinking? When I was in the psychiatric ward 12 years ago, I seen people locked up for doing a few stupid things. But when I spoke to these people, somebody throwing rocks at a pharmacy and then explaining to me that these pharmacies are destroying our lives, for me to learn in the last 12 years that pharmaceutical companies, and not only it's just their companies, but deeper down, are doing exactly and almost exactly what this guy said, but not exactly as I'm saying it, because everybody and different people will take to what I have said differently as because of the words I chose to speak. What words have you chose to speak? Because if I don't choose the right words, then I'd be just like Donald Trump, always saying the wrong word, when he's not always saying the wrong word. He's saying it to a different, because of his mentality is the way he's saying it, but he may not mean it that way, but it doesn't matter. I'm not taking his side in any way at all. I'm just trying to put the reality of my side out there. Is there anything else that I want to say? yes, if I was running for prime minister or captain of the ship, there would have to be a lot of changes, and it would hurt a lot of people. So we have to protect the people it might hurt, because at the same time as it hurts, it'll only hurt mostly the people with money. And then those with money that are helping others with lesser money, it would hurt those because they wouldn't be able to give the donations that they do, even if they're saving taxes on their money, but too much taxes, and they're moving it all around the world to own something that has really no value in helping people. Like, I own 1 million tons of gold, but how is that going to help anybody on this planet? I own millions and billions and trillions of dollars, but in the long term of reality, people aren't eating because our administration, um, the administration to the sharing aspect of life is not working compatible with all the people, forgetting about the people who do not want to work. We should always make sure we have food in the soup kitchen for those who want an extra lunch. We should always make sure we have a bed. And remember, there's clean people and there's dirty people. And why should a clean person with no money live with a dirty person that has no money? I don't think it's right. So how do we separate the people? And then the mental state of the people. So there's a lot of work in administration. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. If you're going to like this video, like it because you would vote for me in the way I think. Things will change one day. Another thing I wanted to show is I just found the number 7 on the back of this TV. You see the way this goes this way and then this way? That's showing me a number 7. It's also showing me a few other things. I see an eye and a mouth, and it's laughing at me. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.